tell my family.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Stafford on first down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Stafford. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, of course, you want to find the end zone, but, you know, you go on the road, you get 3 points. I think you take it.
Yeah, pretty good start to the day for him, don't you think? Right? You go out there, get the 3 points. Now, look, it's not going to silence this crowd, but it might take a little bit of steam out of them right off the top.
This one fielded at the 5. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick in the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's got some space here. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one good for 33 and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll...
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Devon Kennard in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays.
And the pressure gets to him again. Christian Jones in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And there are the numbers a week ago for LeGarrette Blount. You see the numbers last week for Davis. In the end, not enough to help get him the victory.
And as we look forward to this week, don't you just get the sense that he's going to get the ball a little bit more? I mean, that's just how it reads to me. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Well, they talked about that with us this week. That's going to be a priority for them.
Give him the ball, let him do his thing.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that's complete to Luke Wilson. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions first.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Well, a carry for Dunn. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Prescott now from the 50. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie. The coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. first down. Prescott. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. Second down, Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, you were backed up into a second and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
Now Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Over the middle here to Wilson. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Lions had the fewest third-down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got room. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2. Once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for naught
down
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Prescott now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September. So let's get started. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And it's the Titans out in front in that one. Rashard Matthews, a touchdown reception. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. Chris Hogan, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Blake Bortles, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
A second down throw for Prescott. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense at that felt. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here's Blunt. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Demarcus Lawrence coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. He's coming off an impressive Pro Bowl campaign in 2017.
You're talking about 14.5 sacks, tied for 2nd in the NFL. And now when offensive linemen hear the name Demarcus Lawrence, they quake in their boots. How do we block this guy off the edge?
So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Prescott to throw it. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington, all even as we get ready to start the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
To throw is Prescott. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
The Cowboys last year, 18 rushing touchdowns, tied for second in the league, and they've got Elliott back there, second and goal. Now Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown on the year, and the Cowboys are in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got to...
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I put the word big in capital letters here. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, it's Elliott. And now running right through him. And now the spin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. They'll give to Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. The give is to Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
As huge a threat as Ezekiel Elliott is with the ball in his hands in the run game, I have to believe that the Cowboys want to continue to expand him in the passing game. Excellent hands, can run nice routes. They don't just have to throw it to him on screens either. They can make him an integral part of the passing game and increase their offense.
58 catches through his first 2 years, so you expect that total to go up.
I think that he can get 58 catches in 1 year if they choose to concentrate on it.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. To return, here's Agnew. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. They are on to the 4th quarter in Jacksonville. And it was the Jaguars who were able to come away with a victory there. Blake Bortles, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now it's Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. Stafford now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And it's 3rd down. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing here, Prescott. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Dallas, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. And for Charles...